It's nice to sort of have this film, which I feel tonally too is complementary to a lot of the other films that are in, but also different too. So it just feels like such a diverse group of films that I'm just like overjoyed to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, the genesis was that I had these sort of a lot of stories. There was more. There was 12 that I think I wrote, and 10 that we filmed, and 8 that made the film. But there was they've just sort of been floating around in my head for a long time with nowhere to kind of go. And after a while, they just sort of started to come together as one piece. And I think the comedy kind of just naturally rose to the top in certain elements because it was sort of trying to find the comedy in the everyday, I think. So, yeah. Well, I have a long-standing relationship with Alenka, my casting director, and so we just work closely together. The film was shot over a year, so that whole time in production we were sort of working together, and she was bringing me people, and I would meet with them and do rehearsals, and it was a nice, luxurious, process in a way because we got to take each story one by one and didn't have to find every face straight away. So it was kind of a rarity in that sense. Growing up with British TV, it was that was the diet that you would receive. So I think as it, being young watching TV, it would just probably subconsciously, there's probably things that I don't even know that are in there that come from sort of British sitcoms and things that when your parents let you stay up late, you get to kind of watch those. So I'm sure that stuff's in there, and those British sensibilities, that dryness, I suppose, that's inherently British, the deadpan, sort of not cracking a smile and just letting the comedy kind of play out that you want to look away from, but you're kind of having to look at it through your gaps in your fingers. So I think, yeah, I couldn't probably say exactly what those influences were, but they're definitely in there. I spoke to my cinematographer, John Fisher, about a lot, and we spoke about the sort of idea of the objective camera, setting it back, having that distance, so all of that's very deliberate. So you do kind of hopefully have the audience watch it set back, you have that curtain that you're peeking behind at the beginning. It is very much like theatre in a way, and just getting to watch and very much observe these kind of moments. So all of that's very deliberate. Like so many, you get that video camera, child, born in the 80s, and you kind of grow up in the 90s with those home video cameras, and I, from a young age, skateboarded, as did John, who at one point was a professional skateboarder, the cinematographer. So we have that deep history of, because we shot the film on video camera too, so we actually went back and sort of shot on those 90s video cameras. So I think the stuff that we grew up making kind of came full circle 20 years later, and kind of with the experience that we'd gained to kind of see what does that look like now. But definitely, I mean, I have to say skateboarding was probably one of the biggest influences, where you see it was, it predates Jackass, but there was a lot of that kind of stuff. You see a bunch of friends going out with a video camera and making stupid little skits and filming what they're doing, and so it kind of, I think it all started there, really. I mean, I think the old staple of the big screen experience will always stand. I think you only have to step out at night here and see the sun setting and see everyone eating and sitting down to watch on the big screen. I just don't think you can feel that anywhere else. I think there is something about watching a film with a group of people in the dark that's quite a magical experience. But I think there is something interesting with the sort of mix of what you get with social media, and then the mix of how streaming and everything is growing and changing, because now it's incredible where you can have Mubi on your phone, or you can have access to Criterion. And so in a way, and YouTube, there are actually, in a way, films are more accessible than they've ever been. So I hope that everything can kind of grow harmoniously together. I mean, it's an honor to be a part of this festival. It's, I couldn't find a better home for this film, really. I think it's the perfect match, and it's, as you say, it's nice to sort of have this film, which I feel tonally too is complementary to a lot of the other films that are in, but also different too. So it just feels like such a diverse group of films that I'm just overjoyed to be a part of. Hello, Locarno. You want another one?
Let's do another.
Yeah, that wasn't good.